welcome to my YouTube channel, LoveDefined. If it's your first time, I'm so happy you dropped by. Feel free to, watch a few videos, and I do hope you get some value from them. And if you are a returnee, I'm so grateful for clicking that link and coming to watch this video. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while. Life has been happening, but we're back. We're back. Like LoveDefined YouTube channel is all about sharing content on the subject matters of love, family, and relationships. Okay, so today's video is focusing on the subject matter of family, in particular motherhood. So yeah, let's get right into it. All right, welcome back. So like I was saying, today's video focuses primarily on motherhood, or should I say what motherhood has taught me so far. My journey of being a mom it's taught me so much, and I'll be sharing some of those particular things that it's taught me with you guys today. But first of all, I just want to make this disclaimer. I know that everyone's experience of being a mother, or even to deal with that subject matter of motherhood, whether from your own mom or yourself being a mom to children. I just want to make this disclaimer. If any content shared in this video triggers any kind of pain or ache or trauma, brings up a past experience that somehow hurts you, that's not my intention. So I would just want to make that clear. Feel free to step out the video, take a breather, and even more importantly, take some time out to look after yourself, get some counseling or therapy to make sure you're healed, so you can be able to move into a better version of yourself, move away from things that may be holding you back, and help you to thrive and enjoy life to its fullest. Okay, so with that said, if you're ready, come along with me. Let's get into the video. Hiya! All right. So let's go into today's video. So if you see me looking down at my phone, it's just because I need a reminder of certain points I definitely want to share with you guys. So bear with me. All right, so let's go. Number one thing that motherhood has taught me, number one for me would be sacrifice. Oh yes. Yes, absolutely. I used to think I knew what the term or the word sacrifice meant, but it wasn't until after I became a mom to my first child, my daughter, who's nearly 6 now, that I actually began to understand the word sacrifice. It's not a loose term. It's not a term to use loosely. Sacrifice means laying down one's life for another, whether that's a part of your life, whether that's your entire life, whether that's your entire resources or a part of your resources, but you are literally offering it up to somebody else. And with sacrifice, it's something that kills every trait of selfishness in you. You literally put yourself aside, or to the back for a bit. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's forever, even though sometimes in the moment it feels like it's forever. So yes, my first daughter was the first you know, being a mom, yes, was the very first experience that got me to really understand the word sacrifice. I've sacrificed sleep before, when you're trying to study for an exam coming up. You do an all-nighter, but then you could sleep all through the day. But being a mom, the all-nighter goes into an all-dayer, and and it just never stops. So I definitely learned sacrifice from her, because life went from just myself to now myself and husband man, still okay, and then it became myself, husband man, and this little mighty entity that gets everyone just going round in circles, commanding so much attention, demanding so much care, and compassion, and because they are utterly, totally dependent on you. So I really had some big shoes to step into. And that, I would say, that's the first thing motherhood taught me. Really, really big shoes. That sometimes you think, can I do this? Can I handle this? And you'll be surprised how much your love for them makes you such a superhuman. You start to operate on the littlest number of sleep ever possible. And you think, how can I be doing this? Sacrifice, yes. That's the first thing I would say motherhood has taught me so far. Okay, so the second thing that motherhood has taught me so far is that I have a new identity. Yes, my ID has changed. So, before being a mom, I could travel solo. I could go to places solo. Yes, there were occasions that my husband came with me, but when I went around doing my own thing, I could just up and go. But now as a mother, when you show up, they show up. When I look at a new mom, I'm seeing the diaper bag, I'm seeing the stroller, I'm seeing extra feeding bottles. Your ID changes. You're no longer just the way you used to meet up with friends, or your availability to a lot of things. It alters. It does alter. You're mindful for any appointments that you want to make, because everything then runs around this particular child, this newborn, this baby. Your baby dictates where you're going to be at a certain time, what you're going to eat, what clothes you're even going to wear. Yes. It can be a struggle. That's around the time when a lot of women start to deal with identity crisis, because who you were versus who you are now, you start to think, have I lost myself? Will I ever get back to the her that I was? Is this something to embrace? So it can be frightening at times as well. So I had to learn that being a mother is not something, it's not a foreign identity, it's not a foreign object against myself. It's something I can embrace. It's a new chapter of me. It's a new ID now. I'm still who I was before, but I've just got this new layer on me. And it's a beautiful layer. So yeah, definitely that's the second thing that I would say that motherhood has taught me. My ID definitely changed. Baby becomes this main consideration factor for where I go, how long I can stay out for, what time I can make an appointment for, how much food to carry, what to wear, how to get there transport wise. You start to think about a lot of things. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's move on to the third thing that motherhood has taught me so far. This is probably the most, I'll say the second dearest to my heart, and it is service. Yes, sacrifice being the first dearest to my heart. Um, Motherhood has taught me about service. Before motherhood, I thought I knew what serving other people meant. But I just feel like the creator um, just thought, oh, I'm gonna give a close up, a close up person for her to really learn what serving is. You know, sometimes we serve people like eye service. My boss is looking, so let me do a great job over here. When you're a mother and you are serving these little ones, 9 out of 10 times nobody's looking, and you still do a great job. And knowing that your reward are just those cuddles and kisses, even though you're thinking, can I get a medal? Can I get like 10 bouquets of flowers, 10 boxes of chocolates, a holiday every month? Yes, motherhood has really taught me service. Motherhood is one of the toughest callings in life. It's a call to duty. It's a call to service. My first daughter, she has this word she uses. She learned it from school. One day she wrote this beautiful letter for me during Mother's Day. Yes, it was Mother's Day. So they had this thing they did in school, and she came home and she had a letter for me. Dear mom, blah 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 blah. So there was a line that really struck my heart, and it made my month. Let me not say day or week. It boosted so much, like, oh, okay, I'm doing something here. This child is beginning to recognize what I do. She wrote, she said, you are servant-hearted. And it's the first time I've actually heard about, those, that terminology, servant-hearted. And I had a bit of conversation with her, and she was able to tell me that that's one of the core values they have at our school. But for me, I really took it in, and I had to sit down and I said to myself, wow, my child sees me as servant-hearted. So she goes on to describe the things I do for her, and how I love her and take care of her. And to her, that makes me servant-hearted. And I had to think to myself that, wow, that's what mothers do. We are servants to these children. So, you're serving them with compassion, with warmth, with your last energy. You're serving them with support, with encouragement, with wisdom, with care. And we do these things by virtues of, the cuddles we give, the hugs, the, carrying them all night just because of that runny nose that just won't stop, giving them a bath, feeding them, doing homework, taking a walk, climbing on your shoulders for the 100th time that day, and just so on and on, saying yes because they really want to do that baking today, and you just can't stand on your feet anymore, but you see that sad frown about to come on the face, and you're like, okay, let's just do it. and you watch your child turn into this bundle of joy. Yeah, thank you, mommy. And that's what it is. We're really serving, knowing that these seasons that we have with them, it won't stay the same. So for now, it may seem like it's taking a lot from you to just serve and do their laundry and do their cooking and do the feeding and do the cleaning and do the bathing, and the list just goes on and on and on. I'm sure you've got some more to add to this. It's unexhaustive, isn't it? It just keeps going and going, and it just reminded me that, well, you're servants to these children, so serve. All right, okay, let's move on to number 4 thing that motherhood has taught me. But before I mention it, If you've stayed on so far to this point, thank you so much. I really hope you're getting some value. Please go ahead and share with that one or two friends that come to your mind that you think this is gonna bless, this is gonna make my sister laugh, this is gonna make my brother laugh, you know, and just brighten someone's day. So yeah, it means a lot when you share this video, and like if you think what you're hearing, you like it. Don't feel under pressure. And of course, subscribe if you haven't. Okay, so number 4 thing that motherhood has taught me so far is being an example. So I heard somebody say something the other day, and the person said, sometimes as parents we ought to remember that we are raising children, equipping them to be an adult. So we're not just, you know, raising children, we're not just taking care of children. We're equipping them to be a well-rounded, holistic adult. So even from infancy, whatever you're dealing with that child, however you're carrying yourself around them, remember that it's to add to what's going to make them a very healthy adult in the future. So being a mom so far has taught me that I am an example, and what amazing privilege it is, and at the same time what tremendous care it's just dawned on me that okay, I need to watch what I say. Even much better, I need to watch what I do, because if you're a parent out there, you already know children don't do what you say. They do what you do. So when what you say matches what you do, then they'll do it, no problem. But don't try and do otherwise, you hypocrites. They're so wise. They just they're like, go to bed, it's 10 o'clock, go to bed. And you haven't gone to bed. What do? They just sit next to you. Mom, they don't go anywhere because you haven't gone to bed. And of course, there's, you know, much worse examples. So we really have to be careful around children. So knowing that I am an example to my children, it's made me to just be so cautious around them, and it's given me such an insight to what a privilege it is that God will entrust me to kind of model for my children what life should be about, so that when they have their own homes, then they will think back to their childhood and kind of from there get this, from there it's a source of inspiration for how they're going to run their home. So that's such a huge deal to me and my husband as well. So as mothers, it's such a huge privilege knowing that in this season when it just feels like so much is going on, knowing that when you are still loyal to your husband, loyal to your family members, when you in times of trouble, you still have this moments of focus and strength, when you feel like all is lost but you still have hope, when it feels like the chips are down but you're still going. All these things the kids are watching. So whenever they are facing any kind of difficulty, whether in kids world, or whether it's when they actually become teenagers or even adults in their own home, they can think back and say, wow, when my dad was facing that, he had perseverance. When mom and dad were going through this, I saw them have courage. I saw them stay loyal to each other. I saw them know how to pray, when things were going in a way they didn't like. I saw them stand up against adversaries. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So motherhood has taught me that. So I'm it's like now I'm milking the opportunity. So I know they are watching. So I'm intentional about what I do. And that's what it is. We take this time now that we have with them to really just show that example of being at peace with people. We show them that example of being the first to say sorry. we show them the example of whatever that we know we want to teach them, but do it by actions. They will grab it much more faster than through just words. Yeah. All right, so let's dig into the fifth thing that motherhood has taught me so far. And that's our last point for this video, actually. So motherhood has taught me to be intentional. I kind of mentioned it with a previous point. I'm gonna dig further into it. Yes, motherhood has taught me to be intentional. To be intentional about what I do with my time. It's not so much of it when you've got children. To be intentional about the time I have with my husband, with the children, the time I have when the kids are not with me. I've got to be intentional. If I want to maximize life and still do this motherhood really well, like whatever well means to me and to the source of guidance that I have to be intentional. So as women, we've already talked about how being a mother is one of the toughest callings. I remember a quote. I'll try and find, the study. Hopefully, I can put it on the video or in the description link below. Where they did a study and they found that a mother works around the equivalent of 2.5 full-time jobs. I just let that sink in. So you know that as a mom, you even have to be intentional about self-care for yourself, because what you're doing is mind-blowing day in, day out. Like some days are just unreal. Like some days are just back to back, non-stop, crazy. Somebody get me out of here. Some days are like, I need a holiday. Some days are like, I quit. I do not call me except you are you're just filling the gap. Yes, I mean, some days are just like, you say to yourself, is this what motherhood is, or is it just my kids? I've got to keep it real. I've got to keep it real. There's some days that you just feel like, literally, yeah. Is it just me? Is every other mother going through this? Or is my 2-year-old just deciding that he's just gonna, whew, wow. So when we have such a lifestyle as moms, and some seasons are just intense, and they will go, they will shift to a new season. You're gonna have your preteens, and then teenagers, then young adults. They're not babies forever. They're not on the 3s forever or on the 5s forever. But in the moment, it's so intense, you can't see beyond this season. Even if it's like, this is all my life, I'm just gonna have this 3 on the 7s. They're never gonna go beyond 7s because of how overwhelming it is. But yes, it's really taught me to be intentional about that phone call to my own mom. I'm like maximizing it. I'm really checking in with her. It may be 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I'm making the most of it, because I know that, okay, the rest of the day, my mind's not gonna, I'm intentional about this 10 minutes I have on my walk outside. I'm gonna really breathe in that air. I'm going to really relax my shoulders. I'm really going to walk. I'm really going to take in the nature sights around me, because when I go back in, it's going to be, yeah. I'm intentional about meeting up with that friend for that 1 hour that I've got, or 2 hours, and really enjoying it, and not being sad and kind of thinking, oh, I wish this happened every week, or it's just once every 3 months. No, this is what I've got now. I'm just going to enjoy it, because at the back of my head, I know I'm going to have some time to myself again. But for now, it's crazy, it's chaotic. I may only meet up with you once in 6 months. but that's fine. And I will enjoy that 2 hours because I know I'm going back to work. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to enjoy this holiday. Well, whatever that, I'm going to call it a holiday. It's not really a holiday, but that's what holiday looks like from mom. When you are away from the kids for an hour, that's the holiday. When you're away from them for 2 hours, that's the holiday. Until you really get a proper holiday, like a 5 days away from them. But yes, let's just say amen to that. For those of us who are not yet in that season, yes, we're going to get there 5 days away from the... Can I get an amen, please? Yeah. So, yes, those are the 5 things that motherhood has taught me. I find that when I meditate on these things, they give wind to my wings. Yes, and it helps a lot, for me personally anyway. It helps a lot when I have moments of meditation. So there's something, I don't know if it's out there, but I've not read it anywhere else. I was meditating one day and I just kind of came up with the acronym MOMS. So I call it Moments of Meditations. Seriously. So sometimes we say we're meditating and, Instagram is right there next to you, your eyes on the TV, and no, that's not meditation. You really need a quiet space. It might be 2 minutes in the toilet. Yes. Even though, they come into the toilet as well, but, you might just be lucky one day, once with the iPad, once in the kitchen with a senior sister, you can have that 2 minutes toilet. So it's called Moments of Meditations. Seriously, moms. I think every mom need moms. Especially when we're in the season of doing what we do best. We're sacrificial. We are just everything I've mentioned today. Having those moments, and in those moments you need to meditate on your why, on why you are a mom. You take moments where you meditate on each and every one of your child. You think about those uniqueness to them, those moments in the past so far. So maybe you got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old. You're having that 2 minutes. You start off with your eldest. You ponder on what they look like when they were born and who they are now. You ponder on 1 or 2 unique things to that child. And as you're doing all these things, you move to the second child, the third child, or you might just stay with one child doing it. The whole idea is that you want to use these few moments to just relieve from your body. Yes, especially your mind. The stress you've gathered already for the day. Every mother gets stressed every day. It is just every parent. Yes. But because this is about motherhood, so I'm just going to stick with moms. But yes, dads as well, carers as well. If you're looking after a child, as long as they're a kiddo, look, you get stressed. Let's be honest, we do. The stresses are on different levels, definitely, of course. But we do get stressed just because of the workload that it is. It's a job with no breaks. It's a job with no breaks. So those moments of meditations, seriously, it means you're taking those few moments to really meditate seriously. Take your mind to that child and just think about their smile and just think about, maybe, they're beginning to say words now. Think about the way their hands feel on your face. Think about their smile. Think about you do this for a minute or 2 and you notice that when you're done, you're in a much better place than before you started, because you might have just run away from the kids, after, finally the baby's sleeping and one child, crying for the iPad and you're like, no screen, it's not yet time for screen time, you're not having it, but they're like, and you've given the books, you've given the toys, and they're distracted for 20-30 minutes, and they come back, they want their iPad, and you're like, what, here it is. Yeah, just take it. You're thinking you're gonna have that for an hour, I'm coming back for you, or whatever time that works for you. And the older one is to the other side, and you literally you're so tired. Maybe you've not even had your breakfast yet, and it's 1 p.m. and you're just like, I can't. And I need to pee. So so you take yourself into the toilet, and you're like, okay, he's over there, but she's over there. Oh, oh, no one's busting my toilet door open. Okay, this is a great time for moms, and you just let your mind wander intentionally, just really calling forth to memory, bringing it to your forefront about this particular child. Probably best to start with the one that stressed you the most on that day. And the whole idea is to get your mind to remember that that child is still so full of goodness. That these children, it's just the season they are in. They really are amazing individuals. Can you imagine if your mom or your dad gave up on you? Like, I can't parent anymore. This is too much. Can we sign up someone? Can someone just come and take them away? I'm done. It's too much. This is too tiring. Where would you be today? You know, or whoever. You know, if life just gave up on you and you didn't get a chance to be an adult now. You see what we mean? So sometimes I know there's a way children behave. You're thinking, like, I don't know so did every adult, was every adult like this as a child? Was I like this as a child? I don't think so. What planets did these children come from? What's going on? Why can't they just think like adults? Why can't they just sit where I say they should sit down? Why can't they just, you clean the living room and you're like, why do you need to rearrange what I've arranged? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it too. But what I do get, that it will be great to do moms as frequent as you need it. As much as it's within your power to do, just to keep going and to remind yourself that being a mom is a super job. So shout out to you, all accolades to you, medals, everything. 1,000,001 roses. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it will not be done without you. So thank you for sticking to it, knowing that the seasons will rotate, and all the, you know, praise and the wow and the awe will come to you. Oh, that's his mom. That's her mom. Oh wow, mom. Wow, you must be so proud. You're like, yeah, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I did. I did. I worked for this child. Yes, so I'm proud of her. Or I'm proud of him. That'll be your story too. All right, so with that, I'm going to end the video. I hope you really have enjoyed it as well. Stick around, check out some other videos, and thank you for clicking and watching this one today. Have a great day. Bye.